right now. Okay. Hi. Today is November the 19th, 2020, and it is around 1:05 p.m. Central Times. And my name is Trandai, and I'm hosting the conference call here for the Vietnamese Friends of Real Estate. So this is the group that I have formed, about 200 people plus nationally, and also in Vietnam, as well as doing commercial real estate and real estate in general. These are the people that I have met through the conference and in many other places. So I would, so we've been having a monthly meetings before, but for the COVID, so we have stopped for about 6 months now. I'm going to be going back to that. And just, for some of you, you might heard that I, the Vietnamese Friend of Real Estate group is just a group that I get together so that we can learn something new from the local, regions area that we have, and then what's going on in the real estate in America and also in Vietnam, and how we can leverage the knowledge and refer network with each other, and we share some idea. If there's some time, we have some great speaker coming in to share their thought of how we're going to be doing this much more better for ourselves, kind of learning first training. So today we have two great speakers, Kevin Cawley. He is from Chicago, and he is going to help us. How are we going to be helping bring more value to our either residential speaker, residential investor, or commercial investor to our clients, and how we can help them to write up some of the tax on their properties. And then the second speaker is going to be Felix Hung. He is from ExP. Also is a trainer coaching, and he's going to tell us what we need to do to set ourselves and goal setting and inspiring us what we need to do for our next resolutions for 2021. So a little bit about, well, maybe I think it's better for Kevin to introduce himself. Kevin?
Yes. Hey, guys. Should I share my screen yet, Ann?
You could tell a little bit about your company first. That's fine.
Yeah, so my firm is in the business of accelerated depreciation. What we're going to go through today is that all clients that you guys help out own properties. All the properties have to go on a depreciation schedule. And what I do an engineered tax service where there's certain parts and pieces of a building that we could put on a faster depreciation schedule. And I have some examples we'll go through here today. And if you own property, this will be a very valuable conversation for you. If you help people purchase property or sell property, this will also be very valuable. So my firm's called CSSI, that stands for Cost Segregation Services, Inc. We've been around 20 years. We've completed 27,000 cost segregation studies. That's nationwide. So I do work in all 50 states. And 27,000 studies that we completed is more than our next three largest competitors combined. So this is not a commodity like electricity or gas. It matters who you work with here because you're dealing with tax and you're dealing with the IRS. So it's important you work with experienced professionals, and we are the most experienced here.
Okay. Do you want to share your screen now?
If you don't mind, let's
so you got right. We now 1:10, so you got 20 minutes to 1:30.
Sure. Can everyone see this? Is it big enough?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So what we do is we work with tax professionals as well as CPAs and tax attorneys and things like that. With one thing important to start off the bat with is we do not do anything with property tax. What we're dealing with clients is their income tax. And so to start off, before we get into my specialty, which is accelerated depreciation, I think it's important to understand straight line depreciation. Now, straight line depreciation is what happens automatically when a client purchases a property. So the IRS federally mandates all properties have to go on a depreciation schedule. And they say commercial properties depreciate over 39 years and residential properties depreciate over 27 and a half. So let's say Ann sold me this building today for $1 million. Okay. The IRS is going to say Kevin Cawley now needs a depreciation schedule, right? How do they come up with that? Well, they simply take the purchase price, $1 million, divided by the asset class. So this is a commercial property. So $1 million divided by 39, that equals $25,600 in depreciation expense. Now, depreciation expense is just a fancy term for a write-off. That's it. So every year from year one.
Đúng.
Hello, can somebody mute? I'm sorry, maybe I should mute everyone.
That's okay.
Yeah, sorry for that.
That's okay. No big deal. I'll hop back in. Tell me when, Ann.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, great. Okay. So Ann tells me the building for $1 million. It's a commercial asset. So the IRS would say Kevin Cawley needs a depreciation schedule. So they have to create one for me. So my tax accountant will have that. So what they do is they take the purchase price divided by the asset class, which gives you a standardized write-off. So every year one, 25,600 in a write-off. Year 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to year 39, or up until I sell the property. Okay. And so write-offs are only as good as your tax rate. And usually we're dealing with clients in a high tax bracket. So if you take the write-off times someone's tax rate, this equals an income tax reduction. So if I did own this property, every year I get the $25,600 write-off, I actually get $94.72 off of my income tax, whatever I owe that year. Okay. The issue there is there's certain parts and pieces and components in your property that do not last 39 years or 27 and a half. So what is cost segregation? Cost segregation is the process of identifying parts and pieces, components, and building systems in your property that don't last 27 and a half or 39 years. And my team and I will segregate them or separate them and put them on their correct depreciation schedules, which is 5, 7, or 15. And in a couple slides, I'll show you some examples of 5-year property, 7 and 15. So when you do that, for every $1 million, like we said here, it's $1 million purchase price. It gets the client $94.72 in income tax reduction every year. If I cost segregated this building, my team and I will get $60,000 to $100,000 for the client over the next 5 years. So that's over and above their standard deduction. So it's all about cash flow. And what my team is doing is creating big write-offs that go against taxable income. And sometimes we bring our clients' income to zero, which means they pay no income tax. Okay. I put this slide in. I thought it's kind of common. Everyone knows McDonald's, so I put this in. I'm a visual learner, so I said, here's the straight line method, okay? The IRS just cares about one thing. What is that? It's a building. And in my funny example here, it's a hamburger. But as we all know, what kind of hamburger? That's a Big Mac. And so what we want to show here is instead of just being a building or a hamburger, what kind of building? Self-storage, hotel, residential. Could be a single family home or a 2-unit or 3-unit, 3-flat. No big deal, all the way up to hotels. So what cost seg does is, yes, that's a building or that's a hamburger in this case, but what makes the building a building? So see, we segregate out all of those parts and pieces and we give them their own depreciable lives. Okay. And we'll go through a real example with the building. I just wanted to throw this visual here so everyone can see. And should I be looking at the chat at all? Or just keep going and then we'll answer the chat later. You're on mute. Yeah. Okay. I'll keep going here. Here's some examples of case studies. Here's a self-client of mine. So these are all personal clients of mine. Self-storage facility purchased for $859, $842. What we did is if you divided that by 39, the client would only get a $1,200 depreciation expense. What we did was year one got him $45,000. You could call $46,000. We're close enough. Depreciation expense. Then next year, he put $3.6 million into the property. You can see here. We were able to cost seg that improvements, which got him a total tax savings of $569,235. It's important to note you don't have to own the property to do a cost seg study. A lot of dentists and doctors simply lease their space. So if a dentist or doctor leased their space, but they put $1 million in improvements, tenant improvements, you could cost segregate those as well. In this example, the dentist purchased for $1 million, just office space. Then he put $450,000 into improvements. All in all, we were able to net him tax savings of $73,000. So if that dentist owed $73,000 in income tax, which means he's doing pretty well, we just erased that. Now he owes $0 in income tax. And he could take that money and put it towards more properties, purchasing new equipment, hiring new staff, etc. Another example here I want to point out is here's a client of mine who purchased properties as far back as 1999. So it's a very common misconception that cost segregation can only be used on new properties. That's not true. We could go as far back as 20 years. So this was 12 locations. Some purchased as far back as 20 years ago. What we did with all 12 properties, we were able to create a $5.3 million deduction, which times his tax rate, 37%, gave him tax savings of $2.1 million. So you have to be doing extremely well to owe $2.1 million in income tax. This client I know owned $350,000 in the year we did this study. So every year he gets to take out of this kind of like a bank account. If he owed $350,000 in income tax this year, he just takes it out of here. And then if he owes $500,000 next year, he takes it out of here. So these benefits, they're not just for year one. If there's money left over, it rolls forward into infinity. So we have certain clients that won't pay any income tax for 7 to 10 years, no problem. And it's all generated through cost segregation. Okay. I'll show you guys here. This is a true client of mine I just brought on yesterday. His name's Ed Liss. And here is what we show clients so they don't get confused. A lot of people say, well, if I do cost seg and I accelerate my depreciation, in the later years, I won't have any depreciation left. So what we do is we show this example now. And if you could unmute, I want to make sure this is big enough for everybody. Is that big enough, Ann?
I think because you got two screens, maybe you need to do
Sure.
Have one of the home screen. You know,
Yep. How's that?
Yeah, this is much better.
Oh, thank you. Okay. So here's a client who purchased a building. I want to show you here a small dollar amount. Another common misconception is it has to be a $3 million building or something. Not at all. This is a 6-unit building here in Chicago. My client's Ed Liss. He purchased for $568,374, and he owes $70,000 in income tax. He had a good year. So what we did is he said, let's see if I could defer some of that income tax through cost seg. So what we do is we show our clients, here's what you're doing right now. Okay. Total depreciation without analysis. It's a very similar number. This is straight line depreciation. So you can see 20,000, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. That's what he's currently doing. And then what we do is show him, here's your depreciation with our cost seg study. You could see year one, which would be 2020. It's a massive write-off. And then each year it drops to 17,462. So what we're showing them there is if you do cost seg, we're not depreciating your whole building. We're going to take 18% of his building and put it in the 5-year category. in 4% of his building and put it in 15-year category. What that does is year one, he's going to get a write-off of $83,889. The reason it's black is because that's over and above his standard write-off. And then every year after, he still gets depreciation. It's just $3,200 less. And that's what we're showing clients here. So it's a way to take your depreciation that you'd get in later years and front load it. We're moving it forward. Okay. Also here, I'll point out what we like to do. I'll go back here, is run these free analysis. And so I'll go back here for you, Ann. All we need to do is to run an analysis to see what's possible for your clients, or even if you're a property owner, is your building type. So you could say multifamily. Okay. Location, let's just say New York, New York. Again, we're nationwide. And I know there's a lot of people from a lot of different states here. Entity name, that's optional. Total building cost. It says less land, but my team will do that. So if you put $1 million in, let's say, when did they buy it? We'll say August 8th, 2020. And then any improvement costs, we'll fill it in. Bottom line, with these 6 data points, I could work up a full analysis. And I'll show you how that works, which looks just like this. So here's an example of an estimate, and these are free. My company will work up these complimentary. It shows a little bit about Cost Seg, the history, how it all began. Then we show what is it, which we covered. It's a way to take parts and pieces of a property and put it on an accelerated schedule. And then we get into the actual estimate, and this is how it looks. So we show clients just like that. Purchase 4.96. The current method of depreciation straight line, if the client wanted to stay on that, it's $58,379 each and every year, $58,379 from year 1 to year 39. What we then show is if you do the alternative method, instead of $58,379, we could create a write-off year 1, $784,259 multiplied by his tax rate. This client would net $290,000 over and above his standard deductions. And what we do with referral partners is if someone referred this to me, I would run this analysis for free. And then I'd come back to you and I'd say, good news, we'll be able to net your client $290,000. And my firm, I'll zoom into this one. My firm wants to charge $14,000. Okay, but since we're working with you and through Ann, we could always do referral fees. So my firm is big in sharing revenue. We don't have to tack fees on. We could just share in revenue. So if someone referred that, it's a $14,000 fee. We could say, thank you for referring. We could give you $2,500 out of that. And now that's not a standard fee. It goes up and down. If the numbers are bigger, it's a larger fee. If the numbers are smaller, it's a smaller fee. And there's more good news is that the clients get to write off our fee as a business expense. So at the end of the day, it's $14,520. However, multiplied by their tax rate, they're really paying $9,100 to net $290,000. So that's a 29-to-1 return on investment. Okay. I'll go back to here. And here's our process. Very simple. I'll put it in this, this format. What we do, how we work, it's either we get a depreciation schedule or that free analysis form. So what you just saw, purchase price, acquisition date, property type, address, and improvement costs. With those 5 simple data points, we could run an analysis. That would be step 2. What in this analysis form as well, that's where we come back and share with you our results and then see if there's any referral fees that you'd like to collect. I call them consulting fees. Step 3, you could either present that to your client or you could introduce me and I present it to the client. If the client signs on, we'll collect 50% of our fee as a retainer and 50% only to be paid when we deliver a successful product. There's not much data we need to run this. all we're going to ask for is an appraisal. Appraisals and acquisitions go hand in hand. I've been doing this 6 years. I've done hundreds of studies. I've never had a client not have an appraisal, but more good news. If they don't have the appraisal, we could still do the study. We just ask for it. Just like blueprints, we actually ask for blueprints as well. If a client doesn't have blueprints, most of my clients don't, unless they're building ground up, new construction. That's okay too. Then we'll ask for any closing documents. After that, I actually come and visit these properties. So I've been all over the country, Hawaii to Alaska to New York and Boston and Florida and California. I have to come out and I actually take pictures of the inside of the property, the outside of the property, so we could document which parts and pieces we could separate. After that, I send all of this to our engineering team. We have 16 engineers on staff. This is not a service tax accountants can do. This is an engineered tax service. So most of my business and my firm's business comes from tax professionals, whether it's CPAs or tax attorneys. Finally, 6 to 8 weeks after I deliver all of this data, we deliver a full final study to the client, make sure it's applied to their tax return correctly, and everybody wins. So let me do this. So far, is there any questions, Ann? I'm looking at the time. So the other slides is kind of just minutia. So I want to make sure at least the concept everyone grasped.
Yeah.
No, I don't have any questions. Well, I can, if I know most of you over here, if you are new, just send me your email so that I could, once I'm done with this, I can send you the PowerPoint presentations and also, the recording videos so that if you want to review it again so you understand what it is and how you can go about helping your clients. Okay.
And I guess so. We have another speaker, so I'll put my info in this. I'll put my info in the chat as well, so you could share with everyone.
Oh yes, I do.
So everyone knows. Feel free. I'll put my cell phone. Call me anytime, and we could focus on that. I just didn't want to pass my time because I know we have another speaker.
Can I have a quick question?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Would this work for single family residents or only commercials?
So it works for single family as long as it's an investment property. So if you live in it, you can't do it. But I just finished a portfolio, 20 single family homes that a guy owned and he rented. That would work. But if you lived in one home, you can't do it on your own home. No.
Okay. How about just a single investment rental property? You can do that, right?
Sure. Yeah. And that would be something we could connect after the call, but that'd be something where we'd run a simple analysis. We'll fill that out and then I could come back and show you what's possible.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right. Ann, should I stop sharing my screen?
One more question, please.
Sure.
Yes. How accurate is your initial estimate before even you look at the property or physically look at the property?
Sure. So these are very conservative. So what we're going to do so we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, so to speak, is we're going to be ultra conservative. Usually the numbers that when the study is done that are produced are 20% higher than what we estimate. So we do under promise, over deliver.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Sure.
So this is Kevin's, how I get to know Kevin is he has early this year in around March and April, he has this same presentation. He had been pitching to the whole national CCIM group webinar. And I've been in contact with him because he lives in Chicago. So I think this is a very good thing that you can bring values to your clients. I know a lot of you have either residential or commercial investors, and this is how you can bring value to them and show them, I just post the contact of Kevin information on the chat, his direct number and his email. If you also look at the own announcement, his emails is in there in the invite list. So what I'm asking is if you would like to help, this is something I know a lot of investors are suffering this year due to COVID-19, and tenants don't pay their rent, and they need some more ways so that they can, get tax deduction from what they have to do. Okay. So with that, and now we are on to the second speaker, which is Felix Hung. He's from ExP. He's serving the U.S. Army before, and he started selling real estate and eventually closing over 50 transactions a year. He's became a branch manager of the top 2 independent brokers in Orange County and managed over 400 agents while overseeing 1,000 of transactions. He's trained thousands of real estate agents across the United States and offline presentation and training. He is well known for the social media real estate expert. And this is something that I think we all need to do some social media to learn from him here. He generated over $50 million of value in referral business in his personal Facebook page. So we've got to learn from him on a Facebook here. He has over 500,000 minutes of view times on his Facebook Lives and sharing his secrets to his success in presentation, training, and on Facebook Live. Felix is an active public speaker with the topic of social media, real estate, lead generation, transaction management, negotiation, and many business operation. He serves on the board of directors of ARIA in Orange County, and he's running and coach a weekly intensive boot camps for real estate agent and affiliate. And I had opportunity to know him through Alex, and thanks Alex for introducing me to such a great speaker today that we have. When he's not speaking, coaching or training, he give back, volunteer at OC Rescue Mission and the Midnight Rescue Missions in LA. And he is in a team leader of one of the fast growing ExP team in the nation. So welcome, Felix Hung.
Hi, good morning, everybody, or good afternoon in Chicago. Thank you so much, Ann, for the invite. I see my old friend, Vin Nguyen from Falls Church, Virginia. I have done business with Vin back in 2006, so it's been a long time, Vin. Good to see you. So the topic I'm here to talk about today is goal setting, resolutions, some inspiration, and how to rebound from maybe a year in 2020 that you didn't like. When we look at the top producing agents in the nation, there are some commonalities that happened in 2020. The first one is that they had multiple prospecting systems or marketing systems going. So those who were already in the social media space, those who are in the online marketing space, even when you rented systems like buying Zillow or Boomtown or Realtor.com, they thrived in 2020. So if you look at your business, if you thrived in 2020, it was probably because you had a very strong hold market share wise in your local area, and you got a lot more referrals from your sphere of influence, in your center of influence, or you were already in the online space. So our online space blew up. When shelter in place happened across the nation in March, there were certain segments of prospecting and marketing that really blew up. And that was really your sphere of influence, and that was really social media and online marketing. We're not going to go over those today, but I'm happy to go over social media as you guys want to. Today is really about goal setting, and today is about achieving your goals and having the best year you've ever had in 2021. So let's think about how we want to do that. I'm not going to go over what you normally hear about with SMART goals. I think we've all been in this business a very long time. We know how to set goals. The question is are you achieving your goals on a yearly basis? Are you surpassing your goals? Are you more than happy with what you achieved so far in 2020? If the answer is no, it's not really a pep talk. What we really need, is to look at the past. All right, so let's look at the past. Let's look at the years you didn't hit your goals, whether it was this year or prior years, and we have to determine why you didn't hit your goals. We have to take an analysis and a checkup from the neck up on why it didn't happen this year and years prior. So let's think about that right now. If you're on track to hit your goals, good for you this year. If you're off track to hit your goals, we have to think, what happened to derail us from our goals? I don't think it was COVID. So if you say COVID, it's a reason that's underneath COVID. Maybe you got emotional because of COVID. Maybe there was a reduction in family income from COVID that then snowballed into you having to make different choices in your business. But it wasn't COVID itself. It was something underneath COVID. So we have to look at what was the source of why we didn't hit our goals. And
are you going to share a PowerPoint?
I will. Yeah, I'll share a PowerPoint in a second here.
Okay.
So let's take a.
You have up to maybe 20 minutes, so that's 11:55. And
okay.
I know a lot of you guys here. I like to share after he's done. We have some questions, and then if you guys can hang around, and then we do some introduction of all the audience. And we might be running a little bit 10 minutes over time, so that's okay. Okay, thanks. So you can talk to 1:55.
Okay, thank you, Ann. So when we're looking at our goals, let's think about why we didn't hit our goals in the past, why we didn't hit our goals this year. That will tell us what we need to do to adjust for 2021. And we want to make sure that we're not emotional when we're looking at this assessment for ourselves. What I find is either people are emotionally defending what happened in 2020, or they're really too hard on yourself. If you're so hard on yourself that you emotionally shut down, that's not good either. Okay. I think Helen's shaking her head. So Helen, you gotta let yourself off the hook a little bit. You gotta lighten up a little bit and move forward. Okay. So I'm gonna go over some slides here that have helped my coaching clients and my team to really have a lot of quick success. And we set goals year round. So when people join me, we're reforecasting goals. We're looking at what they need to do to end the year strong or in the quarter strong. So these are interchangeable no matter the time of year. And I'm going to take a book from Tony Robbins. So basically we have to start with the emotional trauma probably in our lives. When I first started this business, I was 22 years old. And this was in 2004 in Fairfax, Virginia, in Vin's backyard. And I wasn't sure of myself. I probably had 1,000 negative thoughts going through my head every single day. You can't do this. You're not old enough. Who's going to buy real estate from you? You're 22 years old. And there's just a lot of negative thoughts going through my head. And probably a lot of you have a lot of negative self-limiting thoughts that go through your head on a daily basis. We have to stop them from happening. Now, this is what you guys think. You think, well, it only happened for a second, right? So I only thought that thought for a second. So what is the harm of that? Let me tell you that if you don't resolve that negative thought, it's still in your head and it's still in your heart. You still believe it. Just because you ignored it doesn't mean you addressed it. So the first thing that I have my coaching clients and my team do when I pick up a new coaching client is I have them start journaling all of the negative and self-limiting thoughts that they have every single day. I don't have enough time. I can't do this. But I never end in that negativity. So if I say I can't do this, I want to end with a positive thought. So I want to change that negative to the opposite positive thought and say, I can do this, or I will do this. And I don't want to say I don't have enough time. I want to say I have plenty of time. I just need to make it a priority. Okay. So when we start doing this, we actually start resolving these negative and self-limiting thoughts in our head and our heart. And that is the first thing that will supercharge your results. Because if you ever have procrastinated in your life, everyone has procrastinated in your life. Procrastination is emotionally shutting down. Procrastination is not because you're lazy. Procrastination is because you don't know what to do and you're thinking about what you should do. You don't want to make a mistake, so you're taking time to maybe curl up in a ball and in bed, right, fetal position, or you're checking out and you're spending family time and you're not working. During that time, you're actually building enough internal fortitude to address whatever problems are facing you in your business, in your life. This will help start resolving that. So we got to start that process. I'm gonna skip forward here real quick. So here's some examples of what I teach and what we do, and I make people do this in front of me. So if you have any of these type of thoughts, let's go ahead and let's write them down right now. We want to write down, step one is we write down the negative thought. Step two is we write down the positive opposite thought, then we say it out loud. If it's something that you feel really strongly about, we have to say it as a daily affirmation until that thought disappears. We have to reprogram, rewire our brains to stop thinking negatively. And this is systematically how we do it, step by step by step. This took me a decade. I wasn't sure of myself selling 50 houses a year. I still wasn't sure where my next deal was coming from because I didn't have self-confidence, because I didn't do the internal work needed to grow myself. And now I'm able to do this in 6 months for people, but it will take 6 months. It will take that you reprogram yourself every single day and you stop yourself when you have a self-limiting thought or a negative belief about yourself. Okay, so this is the first exercise. I would love you to trust me and walk through this with me. You know, I've created $30 million producers in their first year of business. I'm going to break my first $1 million coaching client. They're going to make $1 million, single agent in San Diego this year. So I know what I'm doing in this space, and a lot of it is resolving personal emotional trauma. Okay, so we're going to start getting a little bit heavier. So first is you got to face your own demons. You have to face the stuff that you tell yourself, which is probably a very nasty stuff that you tell yourself on a daily, weekly basis. You're not good enough, all this stuff. Okay, we got to resolve that. The second thing, we're going to start getting a little bit heavier. I'm going to ask you to forgive those people that wronged you in life, those business partners that screwed you over, friends and family that maybe wronged you in your personal life, exes. Okay, I want you to forgive them. You don't have to contact them. You don't have to reach out to them. You don't have to contact them. But you need to forgive them, and you need to say that you forgive them out loud. You may have to forgive your parents. And even if they pass to the other side, you may have to say, Mom, I forgive you. I forgive you for being hard on me. Dad, I forgive you for being hard on me. We got to forgive them because they're renting space here, and they're affecting your present day life. So it doesn't mean that you ever have to invite them back in your life. I'm not saying that. What it means is that you forgive them for your own peace, because you deserve that peace. So let's go ahead right now and make a list of people that you need to forgive because they wronged you and they're still renting space here and here. We all have people. We all have people that wronged us. I owned a real estate franchise in 2012, and my business partner was 22 years my senior, and he treated me like an assistant. And so I used to resent him because he used to go to Santa Barbara with his wife, and 2 o'clock in the afternoon, he was vacationing and I was still at the office working. This was during when we were holding 40 and 50 short sale listings at one time. And I had that resentment built up, and I had to forgive him for that. And I had to forgive him that it was also my fault that I didn't set the right boundaries with my business partner. I had to take responsibility of that, right? So let's go ahead and make a list of people that we should forgive, and then let's forgive them. So we want to actually say it out loud. So Mom, I forgive you. Dad, I forgive you. We want to say it out loud, okay? The third part is the heaviest part. So I had a spiritual coach and mentor, and I paid her a lot of money to tell me to do this. So she made me ask for forgiveness in my personal life from all the women that I had hurt. And it was really, really uncomfortable and really, really tough. She made me reach out to all of them. And so here I am reaching out to every single person from when I was an adult, apologizing to them on why I hurt them and asking for forgiveness from them. This was really heavy. And this is a lot harder than a cold call. This scared me. And I didn't know how they were going to react. I didn't know if they were going to yell at me. I didn't know if they were going to forgive me. But what I found after that really tough exercise was I felt more free. There was like a big weight that was lifted off my shoulders. You can't make the person forgive you, but what you can do is you can offer an apology and offer that olive branch. And so that's what I'm asking you guys to do. So again, if this is an X and you have a restraining order, if you have a safety issue, do not contact them. Do not open Pandora's box. But if there's no safety concern, I'm going to tell you that this is very freeing. It's going to propel your business forward, because here's what's happening. The negative thoughts are like programs. Let's say that we're all like cell phones. We have all of these programs working in the back of our head. So that's your mom issues. That's your dad issues. That's your issues with your brother. That's your issue with your ex. Those are the people that you have to forgive. Those are the people that you have to ask for forgiveness from. And what happens when we open up too many programs on our cell phone? It crashes. The performance of the cell phone goes down. And so this is what's happening. You may not think about these three things every single second of every day of your life, but they're affecting us. They're slowing us down. They're slowing our productivity down. They're slowing us down to hit our goals and to reach our potential. And so that's why I ask you guys to trust me and walk through these steps and resolve these issues in your life. So when I ask for forgiveness, not everyone forgive me, but I felt great because I was sincere about it. I was genuine about it. I wanted them to forgive me. I was sincere about what I did wrong. And that's what counts. Okay. So this is the first part I go over with all my team members and all of my coaching clients, and it's going to be heavy. So if you do this, I want you to prepare that you may emotionally shut down for the week. You may say, wow, this is really heavy. I'm exhausted this week from doing this. But in the next 2 or 3 weeks, your business will boom. Your focus will be so much better after you do these exercises. All right, so let's have a contract with ourselves. I don't want to make you own this. You got to want this, right? So you have to want your success. And I know I see a lot of respected leaders on here, a lot of leaders that have been in the business a long time. I know you want it for yourself. So let's go ahead and read this out loud to ourselves. I'm going to read it out loud to you guys also, but let's have a contract with ourselves. And let's make sure that we understand that just because the things that we tried didn't work in the past doesn't mean that dictates our future. So right now, I feel great anticipation about my future. I have felt this before. We've all felt this before about starting a new year, but this time will be different, as I will take action and I will follow through completely on my commitment to myself and to my family, right? The commitment is to your family to provide for them. Today, I commit to the process. I choose to create a lucrative system-based business, which will result in a more rewarding career and fulfilling life. I'll achieve this by continually implementing the systems and strategies I learned. I'm going to give you some systems and strategies today that you can literally take and double and triple your business in 2021. I will not waver in this commitment to myself. So what I'm going to ask my friends out there, my fellow veteran agents out there, is to pretend like you're hearing this for the first time. Because if you don't, if you're trying to pick out what I'm telling you that's different, that you haven't heard before, you're not going to hear it right. Pretend like you're brand new today. Pretend like you're hearing what I'm telling you for the first time. Then you're going to catch everything that you need to hear. So let me go over some proven and effective systems for your business. So let's talk about Sphere. So Sphere blew up my team. We opened probably 6 million in business in the last 2 weeks. And even in California standard, that's really good. We're a new team. Okay. So 6 million opened escrows in the last 2 weeks. Okay. So how do we do this? Well, if you're praying that your Sphere remembers you because you did a great job, that's not enough. It's not enough. Okay. So let me give you my strategy. I want to make all of you the Coca-Cola of real estate to your friends and family. Okay. So Coke does a great job of marketing to us without spamming us. They don't say go buy Coke. They go over a lifestyle of how it is to drink a Coca-Cola. Okay. So they do a masterful job. So I want to help you guys to be the Coca-Cola of real estate to your friends and family. So how do we do that? Step 1 is the contact. So you got to call them and you got to see them, you got to text them, and you got to PM and DM them and WeChat them and Line them and Voxer them on a consistent basis. Okay. I don't care if they're in China and they're in Vietnam. We got to be consistent at this. Okay. The whole goal is for me to be their best friend. I want to be everybody's best friend when I'm doing this. Okay. So I'm calling them. So let's say I call Helen. Helen, hey, how are you? Long time no talk. I'm just catching up. This is not about business. This is not about business. This is just, I'm building rapport with Helen and I'm in the moment. I don't care about business right now. I care about our friendship and that's it. That's what I'm focused on. Okay. So step one is the touch point. You reach out to them. Step two is building rapport. I want my goal in that contact, whether it's text message, phone call, or in person, is to get Helen to like me more than before I reached out to her. So there's a rapport score over my head. So let's say Helen likes me at 65%. My goal when I leave that conversation with Ann, with Helen, with Vin, is that they like me at least 1% more than before that conversation. Okay, and so that's step two. Okay, so you build rapport. Step three, you leave them wanting more. You want to write that down. When you call your cousin, don't have a 1 hour conversation with your cousin, because then you have no reason to call your cousin for another 6 to 12 months. That is no good in our world. Okay, because our referral beacon wears off in 2 to 4 weeks. So you want them, when they hear the word real estate, to say, oh, Ann, oh, it's Helen. Oh, Helen's your person. Oh, no, Vin is your person in the DC area. That lasts 2 to 4 weeks. That doesn't last a year. Let's not lie to ourselves and pretend that everyone refers us 24 hours a day. So we got to keep reminding them that we are that person. Okay. So step three in that process is you leave them wanting more. I make my coaching clients get off the phone after 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, if you were my coaching client, I would say, okay, Ann, after 10 minutes, make a real estate work excuse to get off the phone. So after 10 minutes, Ann's going to say, oh, hey, Helen, I have to let you go. I have to go show some property right now. Oh, Helen, hey, I got to let you go. I have to go look up some property on the MLS right now. Oh, I have to go and drive by some commercial property to do some valuations. So let me let you go. Okay. So it has to be a real estate work excuse. So we're not spamming our friends. We're not selling our friends. It's an indirect way of getting them to understand that we are busy, we're successful, but we still made time to touch them. Okay. And so then when we look at our database, we have to look at what we're going to do daily. I recommend to my team and my coaching clients that we do 10 calls and 10 texts a day. On a weekly basis, we want to touch 50 different people, 50 unique people on a weekly basis. Monthly basis, we are touching 100 people on a monthly basis. Quarterly, everybody in your database. We've all been in business 10, 15, 20, 30 years. So quarterly could be 500 people. Quarterly, your monthly number may have to be 200 if you have a huge database. Okay, so we have to adjust these numbers. And then the goal is to try to see everyone at least once a quarter. Now with COVID, you have to make sure they're comfortable with seeing you in person. But if they're comfortable, you want to try to see everyone once a quarter and have a phone call with them once a quarter. And then we think about what we're doing each quarter. So for example, for my team and for my coaching clients, we're doing Thanksgiving postcards. Thanksgiving is next week. So what we did was we basically, let's say I'm friends with, let's pick on someone new. Let's say it's Alex, right? So I'm going to write a personal note to Alex. Alex, thank you so much for your friendship. I really appreciate you because of the years that we spent together at West San Gabriel Valley Association Realtors and our collaboration there. And I sent this to him, a personal note on why I'm personally thankful for him. That's going to feed my heart. And that's also going to feed whoever I give it to. And that means that they like me more. And that means I'm probably going to be the one that gets referrals. I don't mention my real estate company. I just write my name and I write my cell phone number. We have a fourth quarter plan. We're also doing Christmas cards. But what my team has done is if you haven't had all of your contacts on an Excel spreadsheet, shame on you. We got to get all of our contacts on an Excel spreadsheet, because with a push of a button, we can go to walmart.com and send out Christmas cards at $1 a piece, right? So if you have 1,000 people in your database and you send out 1,000 Christmas cards, I bet that you get some referrals come January. But we got to get systematic with this. It has to be that we mail them quarterly. So let's say that you sell a house. Well, we better put just sold postcards out to our sphere also at least once a quarter. But Felix, I mostly work with buyers. Okay, that's fine. So most MLSs allow you to also claim the sale because you were part of the sale as a buyer's agent. But normally you have to take your own picture. So don't use a picture from the MLS. You don't want to violate MLS rules. Take your own picture of the property and send out a just sold to your clients. Okay, so this is our sphere of influence system. I know I'm rushing through this. I could take an hour just to explain this. Okay, but I want to give you guys a lot of value and some differences here. We're exploding on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the magic trick. LinkedIn right now, if you want to get quick business from social media, it is LinkedIn. And I know I'm at 11:55, so can I get 2 more minutes?
Sure.
Is that okay? Okay. So LinkedIn, this is what I tell people to do daily. You send out 50 connection requests. So let's say we want Vietnamese speaking. I'm gonna look up last name, Nguyen, Nguyen, Vin,
Tran,
okay, Fan,
Lay, Down.
Fan, yeah, Vo. Okay, so I'm gonna look up those last names. So let's say I want doctors in Chicago area that are last name Vo, VO plus MD plus Chicago, and I'll get all the doctors, and I'm gonna start adding. I'm gonna start sending connection requests out to them. Police officers. So if you say I want to operate my business in Vietnamese, then go for the Duongs of the world. Go for all of the last names that are Vietnamese surnames. I have a Chinese client in Cupertino, and she goes for the Wangs and the Lees, and she's going specifically for people that she thinks probably speak Mandarin Chinese. So you can do this. Then you have to like and comment their posts after they accept your connection request. Probably about 50% will accept your connection request. And then on a weekly basis, once you get all of these people to add you back, you just send out messages to them and you say, hi, I'm a local real estate agent. Do you have any real estate needs I can help you out with? It's a great time to buy, or it's a great time to sell. And out of every 150 messages, we're picking up a client like clockwork. Super simple. So when you look at what you're doing, do you have a system around it? That's the question. Is it systematic? Do you know what you need to do daily, weekly, monthly, yearly? Do you know? That's what we have to do for our systems. All right, so I'll stay for questions. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I want to make sure that I'm respectful of the time and I've taken up enough of your time. I appreciate you guys listening. I hope that this was helpful in ending your year strong and starting 2021 strong. And would love to help you guys out. I'm happy to come back and do more training. I've felt it's great energy in this group. I'm not taking any more coaching clients right now. So I'm a coach, but I'm maxed out. So I like 8 personal coaching clients.
For the next session in December?
Yeah, if you want me, I'll be in Taiwan. But if we can coordinate the right time, so it's not like 3 in the morning, I'd be happy to go over any of those strategies more in depth. But so sphere of influence, if you have 200 people in your sphere, most of my coaching clients with 200 people in their sphere are getting 20 to 30 deals just from their sphere. So it works. It works to a massive capacity. So most of the agents I talk to, most of the agents I managed when I was a branch manager, they say, oh yeah, sphere is great. I get 5 or 6 deals. That's not enough.
I think you are in Taiwan for vacation. We're not going to bother you though. So, but maybe we would like to have you revisit it in January again.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about LinkedIn, or we can talk about sphere. Happy to come back and help out.
Yeah. Okay, does anybody have 1 or 2 questions from Felix? Or no? Otherwise, we're going to go to
I have a question.
Yeah?
Hi, Gwen. I have a question for Felix. Great presentation. I think the trick here is the system. Once you have the system or develop the system and follow that, I think it would work. But my question for Felix is social media to be consistent. With the Facebook, with LinkedIn, with Instagram, how do you keep up with all of that? Because once you request friends, then you have to keep up by maintaining that friendship or online friendship by liking their posts. That is a lot of posts that you have to go through on each, for each program. Yeah. So to me, it's a lot of hours. So how do you manage that?
So great question, Michelle. So first is start with one platform. So the platform you should start with is the one that most of your friends are on. So for most of our friends, they're probably going to be on Facebook. So I would recommend that you start there. Now, if you're a millennial or you grew up using Instagram, then that should be your primary platform. So first pick one primary platform and get good at that. The great part about LinkedIn, though, is that you don't have to jump on every single day on LinkedIn. You don't have to like and comment posts like all the time. On Facebook, it's more of a real-time requirement. So I would recommend that you start at 30 minutes a day. 30 minutes a day, you get the hang of it. Start posting 4, 5, 6 days on Facebook, and it's a gradual process. So don't try to do everything all at once. I make 6 figures every single year from my Facebook, from referrals from other agents for my ARIA family, or from, I'm also a moderator for lab coat agents. So I get lab coat referrals. So because of that, I spent about 2 to 3 hours on my phone on social media a day. It wasn't that heavy in the beginning. In the beginning, it was about 30 minutes. And then once you start picking up referrals and you pick up deals, you want to spend more and more time there. Okay, so don't start at 2 or 3 hours, start small. And then as you see results, then you pick it up. But on LinkedIn, it's very segregated where you can do LinkedIn and you can just jump on once or twice a day, and then you can jump off. So it's easier to bolt on LinkedIn. And I use 3. I use Facebook, I use Instagram, and I use LinkedIn. For Facebook and Instagram, I literally post the same exact things to make sure that I'm not overwhelmed myself. So even though I grew up with Friendster and MySpace, it doesn't mean that I don't get overwhelmed myself. I normally will repost the same things on Facebook and on Instagram.
Question for Felix. Earlier, you had mentioned about how you email particular client on LinkedIn. You have to type certain code to be able to pull out the same group of people to send an email to them. How do you do that?
So it's got to be one-on-one, be on LinkedIn. So when you're sending LinkedIn messages out, you want to make a connection first. So let's say that we're going after Vietnamese doctors. So first, you could just look under Kaiser Permanente plus a last name, Kaiser Permanente Lee, Kaiser Permanente Duong, Kaiser Permanente Nguyen, okay? And then plus your city. So you can look up all the Kaisers around town, and you can go location by location and literally add all of the Vietnamese doctors, okay? So that would be step 1. Step 2 is then you start liking and commenting on things on their wall. Like let's say work anniversary. Congratulations on 10 years being a radiation tech or whatever they do. And then happy birthday. So you wish happy birthday to them. Okay. Then step 3 is after at least, you have to be friends with them at least half a day. Don't send a message right away. You have to be connection for at least half a day. Then you say, Dr. Vo, do you have any real estate needs right now? You know, I just learned this cost acquisition thing. And basically, if you have any investment property, I can help you to save some money on taxes. So that would even be a great message just to implement from what you guys learned from Kevin today, implement into a LinkedIn message to get a response back from them.
Thank you.
So that those are the basic steps. Then it's a numbers game. We're literally cold messaging people, just like cold calling, but through LinkedIn.
Okay, well, thank you. We'll have Felix come back here in January, definitely.
All right, guys. Have a great day. Thank you for having me.
Okay, well, right now we're gonna go to the introductions of every attendees. If you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, I know there are a lot of people, they have video, try to unmute your video so we can see who you are. So I know that our speakers just left because they have some other commitment, but I'm gonna please try to put your video on so we can see you. And I'm going to start with somebody that came at the earliest one, which is Michelle. We just want to have an introduction of everyone and welcome to share what you have and your regions and things like that. It's been about 6 months now since the last time I hosted this in April. So we are going to be going back to start hosting this every month. And if anybody knows some great speaker, please contact me so I can arrange to have an on a talk. Usually we would have 2 speakers. One is either something that can bring value to you or something that you can learn from education, or you can learn about the local area of some place. We have variety of people from New York, Florida, California, DC, Atlanta. So Michelle, could you tell us a little bit yourself?
Sure, and first of all, thank you, Anne, for organizing this. It's a great meeting that we used to have, and now that you doing again, so that's awesome. And my name is Michelle Nguyen, and I'm out here in California, Westlake Village. And I'm also a founder and president for ARIA Ventura County chapter. And it's my pleasure to meet everyone. And I hope one day we can meet in person.
Okay, maybe we can travel together again next year.
Yes,
NAR.
awesome.
Aria to mention. Hello, and Ben, your turn.
Yes. Hi, everyone. This is Vin Nguyen again. Anyway, thank you, Anne. We miss you for a long, long time. I just wonder whether you're in Vietnam or in China. Disappear. But anyway,
We stay home with the
Yeah.
virtual, beach that I have in my background.
Anyway, I really miss that traveling that we've done in the past. I look forward to maybe next year that we start to do that, and maybe we should organize another trade mission to Vietnam and or China.
That's wonderful. Well, some of you might knew Vince is one of the senior brokers, been working over 30 years here, and he was president liaison for Vietnam for NAR, 5 years, I think. And then, are you still active in the NAR, or maybe Virginia?
No, I'm stay behind. Liu is the one who is more in the front, but I follow all the news in Vietnam and in the US, so I can share both sides. So we have different conferences through Zoom. Recently, like a few weeks ago, we had a meeting sharing our real estate market, both residential and commercial, to Vietnamese real estate professionals. And Dr. Yun was there as well.
Okay, next we have Han Dang from Atlanta. You have to unmute your phone. You have to unmute it, Yan.
I'm doing something else. Yes. Hi. Yes, Hang Dang. I'm with the NDI Maxim Realty. I can't even say NDI Maxim Real Estate in Georgia. Say hi to everyone.
Yeah.
And I think
Yan is one of the person that last year I went to Korea with her. For trade missions with Atlanta and Korea. She is a very well known in Atlanta as far as MC. Every big event they would have Chị Han to come in and do the MC for them. Okay, next I have Chị Dow Alderman in Florida.
Unmute.
You have to unmute,
Thank you very much, Anne, for inviting me to be here today. And my name is Dow Alderman. Everybody know that. And I am from Tampa, Florida. I've been in the business for 15 years. And the first 3 years, I focused on residential. And I transfer slowly to commercial. So right now, I can handle transaction, either residential or commercial. And Florida is a very, very hot market for both market, residential and commercial. And it's a fantastic place to invest in real estate. So welcome everybody. If you want to do real estate, please give me a call. So Anne should know my number and just contact Anne and she
post it on the chat room. If you look under the bottom, right next to the green button, there's a chat button. You can click on it and then you can type to everybody your contact information.
All right, I do that. Thank you very much.
I also, because Chị Dow just remind me, I know some of us, when we first start out in the business, we're in the residential, and depend on whether you like it or not, sometimes we might have more chance to do some real estate in a more bigger scale in a commercial. I started out 15 years ago, and I was like in Dow's shoes. I was residential for 3 years and then went out and get my CCIM working on a commercial. Now I'm just doing a full-time commercial. And, she's also reminding me that I know a lot of us are staying at home. And if you want to take some time to learn some CCIM education, I have been promoting that for a lot of minority to attending and get scholarship for that. By writing a recommendation for that. So over the years, I just got a couple of friends who just finishing their designations, took the exam last week, and congratulated. It was Mandy Loon from Southern California. So every years I promoting people to, if they feel that they have a good call to go and to do commercial, contact me. I can kind of help with writing recommendations so they can get a scholarship, which you save about 40% of the regular class for the 4 classes. And CCIM headquarters is in Chicago. So whenever you want to do some investment on commercial, something, have questions, welcome to contact me. And if you have some refer, if you know somebody of your clients that want to go to another place and you don't know where they have any Vietnamese, just contact me and I can be, I can direct you to another person. Just right before this call, I got another fan from California. Is wanting to write, their clients want to write a contract. So I just referred that to Dow's already. And, for Yan too, because I travel a lot to different conventions and I meet a lot of people. So just keep in touch with me, and whenever you feel like your clients just need something. Next, I have Helen Dow.
Hi, everyone. This is Helen. I have a license in Georgia. I live in Alpharetta. I used to be a nurse, but I get into real estate 2 years ago. I do both residential and commercial. I feel so blessed and I'm so excited to get into real estate. Last year, I got my, the Rookie of the Year. This year, I got like 3 times Agent of the Month. I feel so blessed. I work with the same company with Jihan, so I still have a lot to learn. And I'm really thankful to Miss Ann to invite me for this meeting, and then for guiding me through, commercial and a lot of residential. And we talk mostly like on a weekly basis. If any of you have any referrals from either state to me in Georgia, I would love to have, and I would love to work.
Okay. Next on the list, we have Tom Down from San Francisco.
Yep. Hi, everybody. Good to see you again, and some for the first time. I do residential and commercial. I do loans, management, the whole 9 yards. I need some help. So I think a little bit of, I think what Felix had shared was very helpful to sort of work a little bit on time management. And of course, he touched on some relational issues, which I actually really agree with him, but that's probably good for a different day and a different conversation.
Are you doing loan or are you doing real estate brokerage?
I've been doing everything for a really long time.
Okay.
For about 20 years. So yeah, I've got my hand in a lot of different things. I really, I'm trying to expand my team and have people that I can unload to and help. So, but yeah, it's even with COVID, it's been a great market. I hope it is for all of you. People have needs. People still need to invest and buy homes and move up and move down as necessary.
Okay, I have Julie Huang from New York. You can unmute you, Julie. Yes.
Yes. Hello. Hello. Hi.
Julie is Chinese, but she have a Vietnamese spirit.
Yes.
Every time when I do, she travel everywhere with me. Yeah.
I can't wait to travel with you again.
Vietnam, so.
Thanks, Anne, for inviting me to this meeting. Very helpful. I like the deduction, depreciations on the. That's what we need. Besides helping our clients, what us need also. I'm a broker from New York, and I've been doing this for almost 20 years. I'm doing residential first, and now is more focused on a commercial. And during the pandemic, a lot of people from New York is moved out of New York, going to area or more of a rural area, such as Long Island or moving to Florida. And even myself, that I have this very summer summer vibe craving, that I also wanted to move to Miami. I wanna have Miami as my second home. So I'm thinking about, you know, buying my second home and probably stay there half year and stay back to New York for half year. So that's my plan right now. And so I hope that I'm looking forward that to meeting you guys again, to travel again, to learn from each other. Oh, also, during this time, there's nothing much to do in New York. So I fixed up my my investment house, turned that into Airbnb. I know it's nobody coming yet, but I'm getting it set up ready. So remodel it, get everything set up. So hopefully when I open up, then I will have more business coming. That's one of the things that I'm doing right now. At the same time,
where in New York? What borough?
In Queens. I'm only
Queens,
like
okay.
10 minutes away from LaGuardia Airport.
Oh, okay.
20 minutes away from JFK. And it's only 3 or 5 minutes away from Flushing, which is Chinatown, the biggest Chinatown. So it's very good location. And well, I have that set up. And then for the commercial part, I thought about that a lot. So right now I'm really applying a lot of license, MWBE license, like for minority woman business. So I can provide commercial service for the government. That's what I'm working at right now. I'm targeting right now. So that's what I'm busy at right now so far. Yeah.
Good. Next we have somebody named Phương Lê. I think this is the first time. I don't know where you're from. So we have.
Hi everyone. My name is Phương Lê. I'm from Augusta, Georgia, just 2 hours away from Atlanta. And yeah, if you know where the National Golf Course, the Master Golf Course, I mean the Master Golf, they place once a year from the US. That's where I'm living. Yes.
Would you mind saying your go down to the chat room to put your contact information? I don't think I have your email anywhere.
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yes, I did.
If you could redo that again. Thank you. Phương, welcome for the first time.
Yes, I'm really glad to be.
How long have you been in the business?
I got the license in 2017. I jumped into real estate and become the agent in middle of 2017, and I really love it. You know, I learn. I try to learn as much as I can every day, and right now I just sell the residential, and I want to learn more about commercial as well. And
send me an email, and I would work with you on that and show you.
Yep, definitely. Yes, yeah. Thank you.
Next, we have two more last people here. One is Sean Lam from Florida, right? You can unmute.
Hi everybody. I just got the email from Anne this morning. I don't know how she got my email, but I think this is very interesting meeting. So this is the first time I meet everybody here. So I'm located in the Fort Lauderdale area and all the way out west. If I take one step west, I'll be literally in the Everglades. I don't know if you're familiar with South Florida area. So I want to give a shout out to Julie. Julie mentioned that she wants to buy a second home here. I can help her out. And if you want my information, I can text it to you. And yeah, what Julie said was very true. We've seen over the last 6 months, quite a few people from up north relocating down to South Florida because even on commercial side, both residential sides, and because especially private equity firms, they relocate their headquarters from New York to West Palm Beach area because the rent here is much lower, but still it has been increasing quite a bit over the last 6 months. So real estate, I guess, is a general trend all over the US. Prices here for both residential or in commercial, except shopping center, okay? its prices been going up, either in rent and prices. So, and I'm also a member and founding member of NAP, which is a National Association of Asian American Professionals. We have a local chapter here in Miami, and also one in Tampa and one in Orlando. So I just want to, give a shout out to everybody, and nice to, meet you all here. So.
Phương Lê, I don't think I see your contact information. I just route to the thread. But if you don't mind, resend it again so I have your information. Alex is the last person who's going to speak. Okay, I got it. Phương, I got this information now. Thanks. Alex?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So I'm the last one to join. I'm always late. So anyway, yeah, my name is Alex Lee. I'm from Los Angeles, kind of close to San Gabriel Valley, Monterey Park, Pasadena area. And I've been in real estate since 1992. And right now I'm just working a lot with the residential, some commercials, and we are able to even working with Anvun company, and we have done a successful deal in Cambodia also. So thank you, Anvun. Yeah, and next year for sure, when it's open up, we will go to Vietnam, Cambodia, and it's going to be so exciting. So hope everyone can join us.
Yeah.
And also I want to shout out to Anne that she does help out to a couple of my friends here to get the CCIM courses, and with a big discount, and they both were successful to pass the test. Yeah, so if you guys have time and join the CCIM class, and that's a good way to go. It's a lot of knowledge. So thanks, Anne.
Well, thank you. I think we're reaching running over time, but if anyone want to share anything, any questions, have any potential speaker, a topic that you would like to talk.
And Fidon, I think Fidon hasn't introduced himself or herself. We have Fidon.
Sorry. I see still on the, I'm sorry, I just look at the video only. So, Fee, are you there?
Yeah, hello everybody. Yes. Okay, I make it short.
That's why if you don't see your face, you nobody.
Can you hear me? Yes. Yeah, I'm an invisible man, so so no no problem here. I'll be short. My name is Phi Doan, and go by English name Philip Doan, and I am in Atlanta. I work for NDI Maxim Real Estate company, the same company where Miss Anne Trandai and Miss Hang Dang and also Helen Dow. So recently, our company merged with NDI's commercial company. So now NDI Maxim is a really big company in Atlanta for not only for Vietnamese community, but also for minority in Atlanta metro area. And our company focus on residential, of course, but more on that, we are having multiple commercial projects. We have lands, we have development project, building house, and remodeling strip malls and everything. So it's very exciting to work with Atlanta NDI Maxim company. So within the community, Vietnamese real estate friends, whoever thinking about moving to Atlanta, please don't forget us. Come and work for NDI Maxim with Miss Hang Dang. She's a great singer and MC for all the Vietnamese celebration and parties, and and so forth. And Miss Anne, of course, she is my mentor in terms of the commercials. So I really appreciate her time and her teaching. All right, that's all. Thank you. Oh, by the way, Helen Dow is she's my wife too. I forgot to mention that.
Okay, let's I just have one quick question for everybody. Do you and Fee and Vin, do you have any future things, engagements as far as for NAR NAR or Vietnam mission somewhere next year?
Nothing on the plan yet, but I would like to organize one. Yes, for next year, probably to Vietnam and Cambodia combination.
Maybe around October, November. Chị Đào have a question?
No, I don't have the question, but I have a comment about NAR. I mean, make the trade mission to Vietnam, just like Mr. Vinh Nguyen mentioned, they don't have any plan at all as a trade mission in Vietnam. They have changed the structure of the global committee. I don't believe we have any more liaison for certain of region like we had before. So I haven't heard anything about trade mission to Vietnam from NAR at all yet.
But I think there is, if I recall recently, I talked to Evans Nguyen and some of the group of the Vietnam. They were planning, right? And then for some time,
nothing
in October,
solid.
November next year.
Yeah, nothing solid yet, but VNAR is planning to organize a group.
Oh,
But
I'm sorry, I forget one more person, which is my Lang. See, that's why I say, I don't see your face.
You know why? No, I had to jump out for a few minutes because I had an international
from Houston, so
for my
you can say something
friend.
first.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the
Jimalan,
chairman.
can you introduce yourself? Jimalan is from Houston.
Hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
We can hear you. Go ahead. Chị Mai La.
Hi Vinh, khỏe không?
Great, thank you.
Long time no
Nói tiếng Việt được
see.
hết mà phải không?
Hả?
Ai cũng hiểu tiếng Việt hết mà phải không?
Không hiểu tiếng Việt hả? Nói tiếng Việt càng tốt nữa, tại vì mình nói tiếng nước mình.
What about Julie Huang?
Okay. Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Mai Lan Trinh. I'm from Houston, Texas. I wear many hats. I think almost all of you know about me. So I just say real quick about me. I teach international real estate. I teach French. I mentor all my my agents and my realtor friends to do a global real estate. And then I have many projects in Americas, 2 very big projects in Belize, and we are starting construction of the strip at the gate of our micro city right now. And I have a very unique private hospital in Canada, near the St. Paul and St. John's hospitals, for sale right now for 12 million. So if you have an investor, a doctor investor, or a group of doctors, let me know. There is a big operation room there, and they have all kind of doctors for the whole, like the medical center over there in St. John's in Canada. Yes. Yes. Also, I have 2 other projects in Grenada also, for the student housing and for the beachfront lot condos. Besides those, I have many other things, but I just let you know that whenever you want to invest outside of the US or inside of the US, just let me know, and I have someone right there on the place to take care of you. Okay. And we have referral fees also, for sure.
Okay, well, we got somebody from Houston here. That's good. And Gilan is a big advocate for the FIAPSI, and she was the one who actually secured a deal for FIAPSIs to go into Vietnam. And she was a French teacher. She can speak French fluently. And I have met her for the last 10 years with Vin and Chi Mai Lai at the NAR convention. And every year we just still meeting them, and also with Chi Dao too. Okay, well, I think it's time now, and thank you very much for your time. If you have any great speaker or some event or something, welcome to go. Let me know. I will send out the recording videos later, and also the presentation. And thank you very much for attending today's meeting. I think this hours maybe is a much better, right? And then, and for some of you guys from the East Coast, around 2 p.m. And for the East Coast is 2 p.m. and then the West Coast is 11 o'clock. Maybe you have to skip lunch a little bit, right, Michelle?
Okay. And also, don't forget,
And
don't forget.
can I say something real quick?
Yes.
Okay.
And you know, the chairman of the NAR global meeting is a Vietnamese realtor. His name is Thái Nguyen. So if you want to start the trade mission to Vietnam, maybe he's the best contact for you.
Is that used to work
I
for
will
you?
email.
Yeah, Tai Hung used to work for me. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yes, I can email his contact information. Maybe you can talk to him about the mission to Vietnam.
Right.
So I say, Thái Nguyen.
Thái Hung Nguyen.
Thái Hung.
Thái Hung Nguyen. Yes, yes. Thank you.
And I think Liu Nguyen is also the ambassador to Vietnam.
To Vietnam,
right? So,
Cambodia,
and Cambodia.
Yes, she still is. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So Liu is the sister. You know that.
The reason is we like this group is because we have a chance every year. We get together and have dinners, and have a little talk, chat about some things together. Look forward for the retreat to get together. We did that in Vietnam once, and every time at ARIA or NAR convention, we host a dinner. So people who just coming would know who they're going to be meeting. So it will be interesting when the next time we get together next year in around October and November. So just stay tuned, okay? And look
Also,
forward
if you
to see a
know
bigger group.
other realtors or Vietnamese realtors that you want to add them into the group, you're welcome to contact Anh to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, next year we must go to Vietnam because you look at the Vietnam economy right now is kind of down, so we must go back to support them.
Yeah,
we must go there and spend the money.
By the way, Vietnam Bamboo Airways just got approval from the U.S. government to fly direct from Vietnam to U.S.
Do you know when they're gonna start? Like
Where?
We have no idea yet, but initially probably San Francisco or LA.
Yeah.
Not to Houston.
Maybe down the road.
But I heard it's very tough now for people who go back to Vietnam. I have a Vietnamese friend from my college. She had to submit somewhere in May or June to get a permit to get to the flight on September. And then she has to fly to from Chicago to Houston. And then she only one way ticket to go back to Vietnam. She's like a student visa to come to go to school here. But she have to buy a round trip because the Vietnam would take the whole, the plane. Nobody just fly over here and take all the Vietnamese with their Vietnamese citizenship to go back to Vietnam, and they will be 14-day quarantine before they can get out to their whole family. So it's tough. So
even from France, I have someone from France who wanted to go back to Vietnam. And she has French residency, but she still have to pay $10 million to be accepted